All right, what's going on, Driving Dollars peeps? Francis back here. So there's this new stock I'm taking a look at, and it looks like we have some pretty good opportunities here. Now, if you guys have been watching my videos on other stock analysis, you guys know I love finding underpriced stocks that are good quality, specifically with low PE ratio in relative to how the stock is performing, as well as what the what field or sector the company or the stock is in. And so one of these is what we're checking out right now is Adobe stock, ticker symbol ADBE. And so full disclosure, I got this stock tip from Jeremy Lefebvre at Financial Education. So if you guys are ever interested in really getting your basics down in terms of stock investing, as well as getting some stock ideas, heading over to the channel Financial Education, Jeremy Lefebvre. I'm sure you guys kind of heard about him already. He's probably the biggest stock investor YouTube channel, and so I owe a lot to him in terms of getting my fundamentals with stock investing and knowledge and stuff like that. But etc. Let's get into Adobe. So Adobe currently $351. If you look at a 5-year chart, they hit a high in late 2021 where they were in the $660 range. Right now we're in the mid 300s, and so the most attractive thing about Adobe is right now the current PE ratio is in the 16s, which is well below market average, right? And so this is gonna get really juicy if you stick with me here. So the market average is around the mid 20s, in terms of PE ratio and valuation and stuff like that. Now with Adobe makes a lot of products that are AI based, or at least it implements AI. So they have things like Adobe Firefly, which helps people make images, helps people make audio and video. It's mostly for the creative stuff, for marketing or making YouTube videos, making all sorts of media things for social media, stuff like that. Of course, they have Adobe Photoshop, which helps you edit photos. You have Adobe Premiere, which helps you cut videos and stuff like that for YouTube videos and social media, etc., etc., etc. Lily's nodding in the back because she's really, really well versed in this stuff. I am not so well versed. I am very millennial in that stuff, so I don't know much about social media. Kind of a boomer. I digress. And so the really cool thing about Adobe is that multiple cool things. So the very first thing is they are an AI play company that is, of course, very utilized in today's society, right? Because they do media creation for online platforms, which is exactly how our essentially new age technology, new age media, and our society as a whole is ran now, right? Ads are online. Businesses are online. If celebrity and fame is online. So this is everything, right? So Adobe is definitely going to get a hand in each one of those buckets, whether it's video, audio, script creating, photo editing, video editing, etc., etc. Another cool thing about them is that all of these products that I just mentioned is on a SaaS. It's a SaaS play, right? SAS. It's sales and services. Not sales and services, something in services, software and services. And not just that, they're all on a subscription model, meaning that it's recurring revenue every month. It's not just you pay $300 and you get Final Cut Pro, right? Or you pay $500 and you get the Adobe suite, or you get the Microsoft suite, right? Now it's monthly when you pay for this stuff. And of course, this is fantastic because for the consumer, you don't have to pay one lump sum of $500 to get the software. And it's good for the company because they just get this recurring revenue that is, in a sense, reliable and consistent. And this is fantastic, because it's not just everybody now has Adobe and now they don't have a product to sell people. Because imagine in the single sale type of business model, people pay $500, they perceive it as a lot of money, and then they use that software, and then years later, Adobe comes out with Photoshop 3.0, and then they're okay, you gotta pay another $300 for the upgrade, and people will be oh, I'm not doing that. I don't want to pay another $300 lump sum. So they'll probably go to a competitor who's cheaper or whatever, can get a subscription service so that they don't have to pay one big lump sum, because that's the consumer mindset. They see $300 is way more expensive than $50 a month, whereas $50 a month for a year, you do the math, is way more than $300 lump sum. Whatever. Yeah, which is good for Adobe because they get this recurring revenue. Now, in the fact that their PE ratio is low, so very good valuation in terms of being underpriced. They have an AI play, which is in essentially all of the software that they're selling. It's on a subscription basis, so that's fantastic in terms of recurring revenue and consistent revenue. And they also have this upcharge possibility in terms of cloud subscription, right? So all of these people that are on Adobe Firefly, Premiere, Adobe Premiere, and Adobe Photoshop, they have all of these files that they need to store. And it'd be a lot easier if you don't have that on a physical thing, so they can easily upcharge any user of one of these things into their cloud storage, so you can put all your videos, audio, photos, save files, all of that stuff all in one cloud so that you can access it on your phone, access it on your laptop. So that's a fantastic upsell for Adobe. Another amazing thing about Adobe, the software margins is 85%. 85% margin. So for every dollar that they sell, 85 cents of every dollar that they make is just straight net profit, which is absolutely amazing. That's why SaaS companies are the best, and SaaS companies are usually valuated higher than brick and mortar stores or like physical products. Shout out Celsius, we're up like 100% on this stock. Fucking awesome. If you guys haven't seen the Celsius video, I got some Celsius videos on the channel, but let me take a sip. So Adobe is fantastic. Do I see a 2x potential here? Absolutely. Now, the company has been down, right? We talked about it. It was in the 600s, now we're in the 300s. What's going on? Well, based on ChatGPT, it's telling me that there's been some rockiness with the company. Not rockiness in the company itself, but in the space, in the AI space, because ChatGPT has Sonora now. I personally have ChatGPT Premiere Pro, and they have this thing called like Sora or Sonora, where you can make videos, you can make images, you can make videos and audio and stuff like that. So among the other companies that are doing AI in terms of production and creative use, it kind of disrupts Adobe, right? With that being said, with Adobe being a subscription service and being that their software is, most well known, I mean, everybody knows Photoshop, everybody knows Premiere Pro, and with that upcharge potential for that, for the cloud storage that they have, I think Adobe is still gonna be able to play, right? Even if they're disrupted, meaning that there's other people doing similar stuff to Adobe, I believe that, Adobe's been doing this for decades. They've been doing those particular softwares for decades, so they're experts at this, whereas ChatGPT is relatively newer, right? And I feel like in this kind of subscription service type thing, it's a race to the start, right? Who's gonna get that customer first? Because once you get a customer in an ecosystem, they're more than likely not gonna change, because there's a learning curve into knowing how to use Premiere. There's a learning curve in terms of how to use Firefly and Photoshop. And once you learn that, you don't wanna get out of that, go to a different servicer and have to relearn how to use the whole thing again. So more than likely, the customers that you get in these subscription services for these software with the learning curve is really sticky, right? So you're more than likely gonna keep that customer, as long as you don't F up the software or just absolutely don't do updates or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like if the company doesn't take care of their software that the customers are subscribing for, they're not gonna leave. And I believe Adobe is pretty good. I mean, Lily uses that stuff, and I think she thinks it's good. And most of the people in creative, they should give me a thumbs up in the back. She knows it's good. And so another thing I forgot to mention, right? Include this in the previous section of what I was talking about in terms of valuation. The year-over-year growth for Adobe has been 10 or 11% each of the last 4 quarters. Consistently a double-digit year-over-year grower. Now, their market cap is around $150 billion, so they are definitely a high market cap company. For a company of that size to have such a stable, not only revenue, but such a stable and consistent revenue growth in the double digits, I don't know why they're being valuated at a 16 PE. 85% net margin, SaaS company type, 10% or 11% year-over-year growth. Why? Why are they a 60? AI play. All of these things, it's not making sense, right? It's like it shouldn't be a 16 PE. This should be, I'm not gonna lie, it probably should be a 30% PE with the kind of growth rates. Like, go online and look at all the big name stocks that are around the 150 to 300 billion dollar market cap and see what their growth rates are and see what their PE ratios. I bet you the growth rates are probably 6%, 7%, 8%, 5%. That's the year-over-year growth rates that you're seeing. But look at the PE valuations. Forward PE, probably 25, 30, 35, let alone if I tell you to go to the ones that are AI. Look at their valuations and look at their year-over-year growth is probably better on those more pure AI plays. But golly, the PE ratios on AI companies like 50, 60, people love high valuations on AI stocks. And I feel like everyone's looking over Adobe in terms of good growth, good value, cheap valuation, consistent revenue and consistent revenue growth. I don't know, man. I'm sold. So Adobe is definitely a buy for me. Now, this isn't financial advice. You guys do your own research. I'm just here to kind of bring this information to the table for you guys. But I was doing some research on Revolve stock. That's not looking so good. At least I don't like retail, and I didn't really like the numbers I'm seeing. So I wasn't like, I'm not gonna make a video on this. Like I only make videos on stocks that I'm interested on, or is just something interesting to learn from it, or like just some key takeaways. Now, Adobe, these numbers are kind of magical in terms of what I'm seeing, so this will definitely be a buy for me. I'll keep you guys updated on how much I put into Adobe. Now, full disclosure, I am currently buying a house, and I recently had to sell a bunch of stock to cover the down payment and the cash to close for that property. It's beautiful. If you guys want to see the house and see the journey in terms of buying the house and what's going on with the house, go to the channel, look for all the rental property real estate videos. You'll see it. Check it out. But now's not the time for me to buy stocks. But once I get past this house cash to close stuff and it's back to rebuilding those positions that I had to sell, Adobe is 100% gonna be on that list. This is an amazing value play, a low to moderate growth play, and definitely a lower risk, more consistent, sleep well at night AI play, which you can't really say that with a lot of other companies that are in the market right now. So I think Adobe's got a little bit of magic in it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this Adobe video. Let me know what you guys think about Adobe. If there's any similar stocks to this kind of story that you guys see in the stock market, I would love to get the tips. I would love to get the sneak peeks from you guys and see what you guys are investing in. You guys know I love talking to you guys in the comment section, so put in the comments and let's go back and forth. I love it. Whether we agree, disagree, I love it. I love it. Anyway, as always, do your due diligence. Work hard. Look at Lily working hard. Yeah, she's working hard back there on her business. Empower yourself to make more. And you already know, me and Lily are doing it, so you got to do it with us too. Let's make this money.